This is the Great Basin prescribed fire and weather briefing for Wednesday, February 4th. Looking at our map right now, lots of prescribed burning ongoing, some larger projects here in parts of western Nevada, but all across Idaho, Nevada, and much of Utah. We do have some burn projects on the ground. It's been a very dry period, not just the past few days, but the past 2 weeks and longer. Very little precipitation seen here on the left-hand side. The light blue, just a couple of hundredths of an inch, and even that is mostly an overestimate. It's help. This is kind of generated by some radar estimates as well as ground truth. You can see the percent of normal precipitation on the right, the dark red or actually brownish color, near 0%, and even some of the so-called wetter areas are only maybe 25% or so of normal. So very dry period. Looking further down the road over the past 6 weeks, the flash drought index or the evaporative demand drought index is showing a very dry pattern. The highest level of that drought index, the level 4, dark red, indicated across a good portion of southern and central areas, and even northern areas are in that second and third category of longer term drought. This is also reflected in our snowpack, anywhere from 25 to 50% in southern areas and 50 to 80% or so in northern areas, maybe a little bit higher in the Tetons, but a lot of this is in the highest elevations, and the snow pack and snow cover really drops off through the middle elevations. A lot of those that normally have maybe a foot of snow on the ground by this time basically uh, uh, are basically dry at this point. So looking at the snow cover map, not much ongoing. Looking at current fuel conditions, we have our current fuels are at record levels in many areas. Looking in our eastern to southern Utah areas, uh, normal is this gray shade through here. We have record levels through here in the red, and you can see where our current levels are. They are well above normal. So ERCs are through the roof here, not just in Utah, but even up in the southern sawtooth of southern Utah. You can see they are well above record levels, and they're going to get drier before they get wetter. You can see the high pressure ridge over us right now, centered over a good portion of the west. Dry air in this tannish shade. Pacific storm track being steered further northwards, well north of our area. Under high pressure, very poor air quality areas in the red and purple shades. Light winds on the left in most areas. You can see the humidity. Seasonally dry in the south, mid-teens, but getting into the 20s to 30% range in central areas, then 50% or higher further north. On the transport wind side on the left, you can see some gusty winds in southern areas. Some of the winds are downsloping off of the nearby higher terrain, otherwise light and variable transport winds in most locations, hence the poor air quality. Vertical mixing, how high any smoke will go, pollution will go before it starts mixing out. You can see it highest in the south, closer to 3,000 feet in the yellow here, but when you get further north, 1,000 feet or less. So the inversions continue to hold true in a lot of these northern areas. Not much change for tomorrow. The high pressure is still firmly in control across uh, much of the west. You can see a little storm system trying to form off the Baja area. Still poor air quality, a lot of central and northern areas. Humidity, same story. Wind, same story, light and variable in most areas. Transport winds, again, a little breezy, maybe gusts to 20 or 30 in the south, and also parts of the Snake River Plain. Mixing heights, again, maybe a little bit better than they previously were, improving a bit across Nevada, but still poor in the north. And then looking at Friday, high pressure starting to shift further to the east. We do have a low pressure area forming up over Southern California, drawing in some moisture. So there could be a bit of improvement in dispersion. The upper level winds will increase out of the south and southeast. There'll be cloud cover. The atmosphere will become a little more unstable. You can see that this area in white across much of the southern half of Nevada and southern Utah is showing that. So improved air quality in southern, even some central areas, still marginal to poor in the north. Could even be some light precipitation under some of these green bands, but not much. Winds a little bit more pronounced from the south in parts of Nevada and southern Utah. The humidity is coming up. Humidity was in the low to mid-teens in southern Nevada. Then it gets up into the upper 20% range. So there is some improvement there. You see the transport winds also improving a little bit. Mixing heights looking much better, maybe 4,000 to 6,000 feet in some southern areas. 3-day precip totals, some spotty precipitation in the south. We'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers, but it's a little bit of a harbinger of things to come. Because as we go into the weekend, we will see this stronger cold front, low pressure area coming in out of the north and west, and that front starts getting a little bit into the Pacific Northwest. We see a weak low in the Baja area, a deep plume of moisture to the south. Almost looks like a monsoon, but it's not. And that deep plume of moisture does shift further eastwards into Texas, but this Pacific storm track looks like it's starting to open up a little bit. There'll be a cold front given by this narrow green band of clouds. Behind it, cooler air. The wind flow overall looks pretty good. You see the significant improvement in air quality, area in white across much of Idaho, Nevada, Utah. So definitely better burning conditions in terms of air quality. But this could start bringing in more wet weather. And you see by Tuesday, models have a storm system forming in off the central California coast, a large area of moisture pushing into this not just southern but central portions of the Great Basin. So we could finally see some more widespread precipitation, hopefully, and more storm systems starting to follow suit. So this is possibly a break in the pattern that we've been stuck in for so many weeks. Day 4, day 5 precipitation. You see that storm system pushing into the Pacific Northwest and Northern California, and some of that spotty precipitation further south. But in days 6 and 7, a wide swath of precipitation covering most of the Great Basin. Not very heavy, but some of the higher terrain of the Sierra Front, the Ruby Mountains in eastern Nevada, and the Wasatch, Uintas, and western Wyoming could see a half inch to an inch of precipitation. That would be around 5 to 10 inches of snowfall above 7,500 feet or so. So that's a little bit of good news for the snowpack. 7-day totals through here. I'll skip through this through here. Actually, I'll go back here just a little bit. For the Salt Lake City area, this is a almost 100-year plus record of lowest snowfall ever. Just 1/100th of an inch of snowfall measured so far. Previous records back in 1933-34. The record low for an entire winter season is 14.3 inches, so we would need a lot of snow in Salt Lake City for the rest of February and March to make up for that. We'll see how that goes, but the pattern does look like it's shifting. That dark green area covering much of the west shows above normal probabilities in the 8 to 14-day outlook. This is basically the second week of February going to the holiday weekend, so it could be some good news for skiers, good news for our snowpack and our reservoirs, and for moistening our fuels. We'll see how that all plays out. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.